right, I'm Anna Berry here at OFC 2025. I'm speaking with Ram with Keysight. And Ram, I want to talk a little bit, as organizations scale their AI infrastructure, what challenges are they really facing?
Thank you, Anna. I think the biggest challenge these days is about power, right? There's a shortage of power in the industry, and as you walk around the show floor here, you'll see every company practically trying to figure out how to squeeze and reduce, the power that the consumption. So that's a big challenge, and that's one of the biggest issues that the industry is facing overall with AI infrastructure. The second is around inferencing, right? Most of the focus till now has been on training, AI training, large-scale LLM training. But now, as the compute and operations shift towards training, there's going to be a memory wall that we're going to hit, and and solving that memory wall problem is going to also be of a great big challenge for the industry. And the last is for AI to be really embraced and adopted and used by customers. You probably would have heard Jensen from NVIDIA speak about this, but this is really, you have to solve AI reasoning, making it a lot more, effective and solving. It's going to be at the core of any AI application moving forward. So it's important to improve the reasoning accuracy, and that's going to require tons and tons of compute and AI infrastructure to be built out even more. So all of that put together means, a lot more need for innovation, faster speeds. And, it's a big set of hurdles that the industry has to cross, but I'm positive that everyone here is going to do that.
And I'm sure that's where Kai comes in. So talk a little bit about the inspiration behind Kai workload emulation platform, and why is now the ideal time to launch it?
Well, there couldn't be a more perfect time, as you said, right? The inspiration for Kai really came from the following. Today, if you look at any large-scale LLM training, it's a complex distributed system, right? Made up of hundreds of thousands of different GPUs and computers and switches and fabrics and so forth. It's very hard to debug such a system, right? It's very hard to isolate where a problem might be or what exactly might be happening. And so what we have done is really enable the ecosystem to be able to emulate these traffic patterns, these AI workloads, and isolate problems by focusing on, instead of the fully vertically integrated system, just one aspect of it, right? So that, is one of the core inspirations. The other is the scarcity of GPUs, okay? So, as hard as that might seem to Phantom, it's very difficult to get your hands on GPUs these days. And if you could provide an emulation platform that doesn't require those GPUs, right? But you could, maintain that same fidelity of what a GPU emulates, that's really important as well. And then the last thing I would say is that a lot of companies today are developing their own AI models, okay? They use their own proprietary data. And when you need to, kind of debug those, or you need to optimize those, they don't want to, fart with their data. So to be able to recreate those types of emulation platforms or emulate those AI workloads without accessing the customer's data was another key reason we came up with the Keysight AI Data Center Builder. It really provides a platform for our customers to be able to emulate their customer workloads and be able to do this in a platform that, is available, readily available.
Wonderful. Well, Ram, talk about some of the tangible benefits that customers are realizing once they adopt Keysight's AI solutions, especially when it comes to scalability, performance, and efficiency.
Okay. The first tangible benefit is that, we reduce the AI training time, right? And by reducing AI training time, that reduces the CapEx and OpEx that, operators, entail. And what I mean by reducing the training times, if you take a very popular, LLM model like ChatGPT, it could take you, weeks to months to train a model like that. But, if you could help that customers, reduce that time, you're then not only making those models available sooner in the market, but you're also reducing the amount of operational costs associated with that, right? The other reason is that a lot of customers are, building custom silicon, to do very fast AI training and inferencing. And we're enabling the industry to be able to validate these, early stage silicon designs and in large scale, deployments. So that's another key tangible benefit that customers have seen. And the last thing I'll say is that, the industry is experimenting with a lot of different 3D, 4D, even 5D model parallelisms, right? This is how do they partition the data, all the massive amounts of data that needs to be consumed for training. How do they partition that data so that they can effectively complete this training in a very cost-effective way? And we enable them to experiment with all these different model parallelism techniques across different types of infrastructure designs so that they can find the optimal model partitioning technique and marry that together with the optimal infrastructure design that they have to bring together and create an overall effective AI training solution.
Perfect. We'll talk about Keysight's differentiating factors, especially in a very crowded market.
Well, I'd say that our first and foremost differentiating factor is what I call and describe as a design to deployment continuum. And what I really mean by that is that we can start, the same solution, we can start from pre-silicon design all the way to post-silicon deployment. And we can seamlessly offer a solution that spans that entire spectrum from pre-silicon design to post-silicon deployment. And being able to do that, across all phases of development is a key enabler, right? Because you have consistency. And so that's been absolutely key. The other is that we've worked with industry forums like ML Commons, UEC, to really standardize how to, test and benchmark AI, right? And I think this is important as well, right? It's very fragmented right now. There's lots of, companies that have their own proprietary stacks and solutions, but coming out there and creating an open standard and establishing that in the market has also been a key differentiator. And the other thing is that our solution, the Kai Data Center Builder, can seamlessly run over, many different platforms. We can run over our own proprietary hardware. We can run on commercially off-the-shelf hardware. We can run in a virtual environment. So seamlessly, again, being able to offer a solution that can work across all these diverse platforms and can scale is also a key differentiator of the Kai Data Center Builder that we've put together.
Wonderful. Well, Ram, looking ahead, how do you see customers' needs and expectations shifting with their AI infrastructure space over the next 2 to 3 years? And how is Keysight positioning itself to meet these changes?
So, good question. I think the first thing that I see is that a lot of our customers today are designing their own bespoke solutions, right? And one thing that we're doing as Keysight is really working with these customers to co-design and co-develop solutions that can, help them validate these bespoke solutions from early stage pre-silicon design all the way to post-silicon, deployment. And this is something that, we're very closely working with our key customers on. We also see customers shifting from proprietary, fully vertically integrated solutions to, more standards-based solutions, right? And so we're working very closely with the different standards bodies to, enable those standards and also creating the solutions that go along with it. So that's another key thing that I see looking ahead. And there's a lot of focus on building, optimal infrastructure for inferencing. I spoke to you earlier about, a lot of focus being on training. Now, moving forward, you're going to see a lot of focus and the build out of AI infrastructure catering to inferencing, making sure that, as more and more users and consumers in the world start using AI, they're able to get their answers or whatever they're looking for in a very timely manner with low latency and, that most effective use. So I see those as, some of the key things moving ahead and Keysight being well positioned to target these things.
Well, thank you for this insightful conversation and all of the progress you are making here at Keysight. I appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you, Anna, as well.
All right. Thank you all for watching.